to the Raft. This is a game from Frank West and City of Games. And this is a sequel or prequel or, well, it's another game in the universe of Isle of Cats. In Isle of Cats, you're going and rescuing cats from an island. And it's very adored. People really enjoy it. Race to the Raft is a little bit like that in the same thing where you're trying to get these cats to race to get onto this raft. But this is a cooperative puzzle. So let me show you how it plays and we'll be right back. In Race to the Raft, you're going to play a scenario. And scenarios are not always going to be exactly the same. You can play through this whole campaign. But a scenario will have you put out some tile boards, show you where cats are, where fire starts. But even if you play the same scenario, the boards themselves, they have a fire side and a non-fire side, will be random in how you place them on here. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get these cats to the raft. So you'll place this raft here. The game comes with other special cards that you may use for various things. They're used for starting cards to help you get these cats off. Cats can only move on their type of terrain. So a blue cat can only move on water, a purple cat on purple, an orange cat on the trees, etc. And if you ever get a cat where they can't get to the raft, you lose. You need to get them off. Each round of the game, players are drawing cards from these 4 different decks here. Now the decks show you different types of terrain here, and the amount of terrain it shows you is the percentage of that terrain that you'll find on the back. So in a triangle, you're not going to find a lot of the orange trees, but you'll find a good amount of the purple and the yellow. While on the squares, you're going to find a lot of the green and the yellow. Look, there is a lot of green and yellow. And there's a lot of trees in this green. Maybe not, but it's just throughout the whole deck. Players are going to draw these. They have limited communication that they can do with one another. And then you're going to take turns when you place tiles on the board, and maybe you're placing tiles in such a way to make a nice path for the cat to move. But whenever you place a tile, you're also drawing from this big bag of fire tiles where you're going to be placing these and extending the fire out. Again, trying not to cause it so that it blocks your cats from getting off. You also can move a cat. That requires you to discard a card from your hand the first time it's moved in a round. The second time it will be laying down as exhausted. The second time it will cost 2 cards. Once players have played their cards, you'll draw more cards and continue to do this until your cats have been surrounded by fire or until you get them to the raft. Now, just be clear, this is not an actual scenario. There's just some stuff I have laying on the table to give you an idea of how the game plays. There's some other things in the game that in scenarios will bring up other points, and there's pathways here for Onyx cats to move on. But that's generally how it plays, this cooperative game. There's a few things about this game that I'm not a big fan of in Race to the Raft. One is the game is ugly. Not the cover is fine, but the board and the way all the stuff looks, it's busy, the fire doesn't look good. It's a visual kind of, like I feel like you should be crossing your eyes and looking for the hidden 3D image that will show up. I just was not a big fan of that. At its core, it's a puzzle game. And I think it's okay as a solitaire game. As a group of people game, I highly dislike it. Because the communication, they do that really annoying. You need to do some communication, but not all of it. So I can say, I'm good for yellow or blue, but I can't tell you how many blue tiles are on my card. Even if I do tell you, there's just such weird communication. And there's even a rule in the game where when you get these cat tokens, you go meow, 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 and you have to just talk in meows. And while that's a funny aspect to a game, and I'm not even opposed to that being in a game, it doesn't mesh then with the very brainy puzzle. And so you're kind of working together, but not really. I mean, you're working together, but you don't know what each other can do. And I find it to be really unsatisfying as a puzzle. I'll go farther. I hate this as a co-op thing. Solitaire, it's fine, but it's a puzzle with a lot of randomness, and I'm a lot less interested in that. It's a puzzle where I'm like, I draw from this pile. It says there's tons of blues, but you know what? The tiles I drew had no blues on them. I guess I randomly lose. I like games where you solve puzzles and do things, but I don't even mind a bit of randomness. This feels like there's a little bit more than I like. The ugliness isn't really attracting it to me, and the fact that I hate it with more than one player make me pass on this one. Too bad. I really do love Isle of Cats. Race for the Raft, though, I'm giving a 4 to.